Right, moving on to, I'm sorry to mention Elon Musk again. I know a bunch of you love him, but we've got uh, elections coming up in Turkey, and these could be super important for positioning with regard to NATO and Russia in terms of Erdogan being essentially a kind of almost dictator or an autocratic ruler who has been in charge for a long time and has uh, been trying to funnel Russian money in on the one hand and then provide Ukraine with arms on the other. So there's a really complex relationship that Turkey has with Russia. And these elections are going to be super, super important. Well, it turns out that Elon Musk, so he said at the beginning of the war, Starlink that he owns has been told by some governments, not Ukraine, to block Russian news sources. We will not do so unless at gunpoint. Sorry to be a free speech absolutist. So he claimed at the beginning of the war, I'm a free speech absolutist. I will not shut down certain news sources, certain information sources from Russia. I'm free speech. You might not like what TASS have to say, but I'm not going to. And RT and all these propagandists, like really horrible genocidal propagandists, right? I'm not going to shut them down. And then this week he has said that basically he is shutting down. So this is what happened. So too clever by half, Elon Musk just gave away the store by making clear that he prioritizes Twitter's presence in a country over the platform's free speech principles. He has invited endless censorship demands. To gain compliance, governments will just threaten to expel Twitter. So the Turkish government asked Twitter to censor its opponents right before an election, and Elon Musk complied. And he said it should generate some interest in Twitter files reporting. So the idea that social media um, social media organizations in the States are leftist and they kowtow to leftist demands. Actually, Elon Musk denied leftist demands or just, centrist demands of like, hey, maybe you should censor some of what the Russian propagandists, genocidal propagandists are saying because it's despicable. He's like, no, I'm not going to do that. And then Erdogan comes along and says, if you don't censor what my opposition is saying, I'm going to kick you out of Turkey. And he goes, oh, of course, I'll do that then. Where's your free speech absolutism? Okay, it doesn't exist. Why are you kowtowing to Erdogan? And it seems like he's positioning himself to be pro-Russian here. I'm not going to censor Russian sources, and I am going to censor opposition Turkish sources to allow Erdogan to still remain in charge. But he says, like in response to this, Elon Musk said, "Did your brain fall out of your head?" Iglesias, who said this. The choice is to have Twitter throttled in its entirety. No, this is in Turkey. Or limit access to some tweets. Which one do you want? So he said, I am making a choice to limit access to tweets. So I'm happy to censor. So all of you people who love Elon Musk but hate censorship, Elon Musk has just advocated for censorship, but didn't advocate for censorship with regard to Russia, but does for Turkish opposition. This is really problematic, and starting to get some details on who Twitter is blocking inside of Turkey, and it's not good, says Simon Rosenberg. Twitter succumbs to Erdogan's pressure, silences key voices on the election. On the election eve. So this is not good, right? Now, I love Jimmy Wales says to this. So Jimmy Wales, if you don't know, is the founder of Wikipedia. What Wikipedia did, he's answering Elon Musk here, who said, "Did your brain fall out of your head? Of course, we're going to censor." And what Wikipedia did is we stood strong for our principles and fought to the Supreme Court of Turkey and won. So they've been in exactly the same situation, and they stood up for freedom of speech and took them to court and won. This is what it means to treat freedom of expression as a principle rather than a slogan, just to get your followers on Twitter yourself, just to sound like you are what so many of these free speech absolutists, want you to be. But it's just a slogan, because actually you don't really follow that. If you really were a free speech absolutist, you would not be doing what you're doing in Turkey. Anyway, I just